Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully successfully updated our navigation bar. So now in this video, I want to work with our blog. So into the blog page here, if you want to create some of the blog, how can create it, how can edit your blog, how can display your all that blog list, and also for the blog details page, everything step by step I will show you. So friend, here if you want to actually update it from to the backend, you can update it, because of all into the backend everything is ready made, right? But here I want to create another form for our this page. That means when this user will be logged in, so if this user want to create some of the blog, how can create it? So step by step we will cover it. So for doing this, first of all, I want to create some of the necessary file. So I have already complete our app logging portion, that means the authentication portion, and that is our app blog. So into the app blog, before I have already created as a blog list. So now I want to create some of the essential file. I just click as a new file, and now I want to do for create that blog, I want to create another page as a create underscore blog dot html. So that will be one of the page for create that blog, and also we will need to display our blog details. That will be as a blog underscore details, okay, blog details dot html. And if you want to update, that means if you want to edit this blog, for the edit blog I want to create another page, and I name it as edit underscore blog, right, blog dot html. It should be as a edit blog.html. And also if you want to create another page like this user, right now I'm already logging with the test, that means our username is a test. So if you want to visible this user specific all that blog is created by this user, if you want to display that own blog, then you can also do that work. Like better I want to create another page, and I name it as a my blog, okay, my underscore blogs. Okay, that will be as a my underscore blogs.html. So which blog is created by this user, I want to save it in our, and also I want to visible it in our my blogs.html page. So now here, first of all, we have to add our initial all the things like extended our base HTML, and then the title will be needed, right? So better I copy it, and now in our blog details I paste it. It should be as a blog details. It should be as a blog details. Here we don't need this, I remove it. That will be our body blog, and that is our end blog, right? And also I want to add that in our edit, it should be as a edit blog, and then that is our my blog. I paste it. It should be as a my blog. So it should be as a my blog, right? And then there is another one as a create blog. So that is extended our base HTML, and then it should be as a create blog, right? So that will be as a create blog. That will be our title, and that is our body. Perfect. Now click as a save all. Everything is great. So right now, first of all, I want to work with our create block. So that means right now we don't need this. I remove everything from here. There is a base HTML. We don't need this. So now we have to work in our view, right? That means in our app blog, into the app blog, and there is our view. So friend, before I have already discussed about that things with the function based view. So, and also another section I have discussed about the class based view, right? So now for blog, I want to use that class based view. Then it should be easy. So right now I want to use it. So if you want to use it, first of all, which file is essential, I want to load it. So everything I have already discussed about that things with you, like that there is actually a render, and there is a render input. So here from into the that means the shortcuts, from to the shortcuts I also need that HTTP response redirect. So I want to load it as HTTP response redirect, right? So that will be as a HTTP response redirect. And also for the class based view, they have some of the class as a create view class, update view class, the list view, the details view, right? I want to actually load everything, because here for our this blog I want to create another code application, which I have already discussed about that things with you. So right now we will use it for our this project. So from to the Django, that is all the default one, and then the views. So from the Django views, then the generic right? From to the Django views and the generic, and from to the generic I want to input all that our class based view, like as a create, that is a create view, and also for the update they have the another class as a update view, right? And then the list, for the list they have the another class as a class list view, and also for the details they have the another class as a details view, detail view, right? So that will be as a detail view. And then also there is another one for the template I want to add another class as a template. So that's all the default, as I told you, everything in our Django views and the generic area. So I take it as a template, everything will use it. So then it should be very much clear to you. And also for the delete I want to take our another class as a delete view class, delete and then view class, right? So here from our Django views generic I want to input our all the default class for the create view, the update view for update that data, for display that list data there is a list view, for details that display the details that is our detail view, and then load the template that is our template view, and for the delete data that is our delete view, right? And also I want to load our all that model data. That means in our model I have already created as a blog, that is our comment, and that is our likes. So I also want to take all that our class, so that is in our app blog. First of all, that is will be our from, and from our app blog, and then the models. Other than you can also use that as a comma. So right now I want to use it as a models. So from our app blog models, from here I want to input our blog, I want to input our comment. So make that sure every spelling is correct. There is a blog, there is a comment, and there is a likes, right? So that's the all will be needed. So I simply load it as a blog, comment, and the likes. And also I want to take another one. I want to take that from and the Django, from to the Django, and then the URLs, and from here I want to input that reverse. Okay, make sure spelling is correct. So there is a reverse, and there is also another one as a reverse lazy, reverse underscore lazy. So we will use it when we will use it I will discuss about that things with you, like there is another one of the function as a reverse lazy. So now I just simply take it. And also I want to take our locking required. So that is our from and the Django, and then the contrib from to the Django contrib, and the auth and the decorators, right? From the decorator that is the input as a logging required underscore required, locking required. So friend, this locking required actually used for the functional based view. Okay, so if you want to use this locking required functionality in class based view, then it should be a little bit different. So then here you have to use it as a from, and that will be the same as a from to the Django, and then the contrib, and from to the contrib, and then the auth, and from to the auth that have also another one as a magazines, and from to the magazines you have to input this, that will be as a logging, and required magazine. Okay, so that will be as a magazine. So if you use that functional view, then you have to use as a logging required, and if you use that class based view, then you have to use that logging required magazine. So it's pretty much same. Okay, that means that is actually the same logic. So now we will apply it. Because of layer, I want to work with our class based view. Okay, so for the class based view, I want to use our this logging required magazine. So that is from our Django, contrib, auth, and the magazine. Perfect. So now first of all, for our create block, I want to create one of the function. So that means here I want to create one of the class view function, that is the class, right? There is a class, and then I name it as a create block. So this type of one of the class function I declared. And here also we have to pass our create. That means I want to load our create view class. So I just loaded our create view. And also if you want to access that create view, then this user must have the logging. So if you want to make that as a logging required, as I told you, right now we are using it. So here you have to pass it in particular that area. That means right now if you want to access this class function, then you must have to the logging. So with this, it's automatically will be checked, and then I inherited our class, that means our class view class. Okay, so I load it, and then we have to load our model. So with this model, I want to load our block. That means I have already loaded our block. That means our models, I want to load our block. So if you go to our model, in the model for the block, I have already declared some of the fields. So right now we can actually access all that field, right? So we can access all that field with this block. So I loaded it on here. And also we'll need to load one of the template. So here I want to load one of the template as a create block.html. So if you want to load this template in class based view, what exactly you have to do? You have to name it as a template name, right? Template underscore name, and then your location, that is in our app block. Into the app block, from here I want to load our create underscore block.html. Okay friend, I hope it's very much clear to you. So for access this, we have to create one of the URL, right? So now I want to create one of the URL in our app block, that is our URL. So here I have already declared on the app name as a app block. So now I want to create another URL. So before here I have used that class, that is the functional view. So right now if you create some of the route for the class based view, I think you already remember it, what exactly you have to do. So make that sure you added the comma. Okay, that will be as a comma, and now I name that our path will be as a right. Okay, right, and that will be our URL. And then into the view area, I have create one of the class based view as a create block, right? So now I name it as our views. Into the views, that will be our create block. So if you load this function, that means our class function, then what exactly you have to do? You have to make that as a dot as underscore view, right? That will be as view. I have already discussed about that things with you. If you want to create some of the URL for your class, that means the class view function, then you have to write down like that way. That is your function name, and then as view, and then our name. Our name will be, I just name it as a create underscore block. Okay, I name it as a create block. So that will be this path name. So now I want to load it. That means I want to load this page in our base HTML. That means here I want to create another menu. Okay, so I want to create another menu in our, that is our base HTML, into the template, that is our base HTML. So that is our logout, that is a profile. That means when this user will be logged in, and after that then it should be visible, right? For the reasons here I want to copy it. I take another one, and I just name it as a right block. Okay, do RITE, right block. And then I want to load our URL. So I have already created that URL that is in our app name as a app block. So that will be our app block, and into the app block area I have created that name as a create block. So I copy it, and now I paste it. Okay, so I just simply paste it. Now if you click as a save all, so that will be display in our blog area. So now if you refresh it, so now it's showing some of the error. Make that sure I open it. Now you can see it's now showing some of the error as a from Django view generic input, and there have some of the error as a training comma not allowed without separating. That means into the view area here I have used as an input. So that is our create here. Maybe I added one of the space. You can see I added one of the space. Better I want to make the things into the same line. Okay, that means that is our same line. So in particular same line area I want to use it. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, you can see it's now perfectly running. So here friend, I have added some of the space, right? So here I have entered it, and I just started that things from the another line. So for the reasons actually is getting this error, so make that sure you don't need to add any space. You will write down into the same line. Okay, so now you can see it's now perfectly now loaded. So now if you click as a save all, And now if you refresh it, you can see it's now perfectly loaded our site. So here that is our right block is added. So I added that things in our base HTML. So into the base HTML area, when this user will be authenticated, then it will be visible, right? That is our right block. So now in our view, into the view area, first of all, that is I get that model data. So now I want to get all that our model. That means if you go to our model, into the model for the block that have some of the field, I want to get all that our field. So if you want to get that field, here you have to write down as a fields. So I take our all fields first time. So if you want to get that all field, I have already discussed about that things with you, double underline, and then all I want to get all that our field. So now we have to work in our this create block. That means in our create block.html page. So here we have to load one of the form into the form area. If you load that form, automatically we will get all that our field, and automatically it will be visible on here, right? So better right now I want to continue this process. In our next video, we'll create our this block form page. So how can do that work? I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.